Hello, this is Jo from Maths Tutor Me. Today we're doing some ratio and rates and we're looking at equivalent ratios. If you saw my last lesson we were doing simplifying ratios. This is not very different. The only difference is that when you're simplifying, you're always trying to make your ratios smaller. In equivalent ratios, we're still multiplying or dividing, but we're trying to do it to find a missing number. We might be making our ratios bigger, we might be making our ratios smaller, and they're not always going to be as small as they possibly can get. But we're going to be using a lot of the same strategies. Okay, so let me show you how to do this. Find the missing numbers in these equivalent ratios. So I have the ratio 3 to 4. What I'm wanting to do is find the equivalent ratio where this 4 has turned into a 12. So what I have done, what you do to get a 4 to change into a 12, you either need to multiply or divide. So in this case, I would need to multiply that. I would need to multiply it by 3. 4 times 3 gives me 12. So what I do to get the first number is I do the same thing. Because this had to be multiplied by 3, I multiply my first number by 3 as well. 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, so the ratio 3 to 4 is actually the same as the ratio 9 to 12. They are equivalent. Let's do that again in question 2. We have the ratio 20 to 8 and we want it to become 10 to something. So the 20 and the 10 we have here, they're in the first position together. To get from 20 to 10, this time I would need to divide by 2. Okay, so I do the same thing to the 8. I divide it by 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. And I found the missing number. Question 3. The ratio 5 to 7 is equal to 30 to something. Alright, 5 and the 30 go together. What do I do to 5 to get to 30? Well, I would multiply by 6. So let's multiply the 7 by 6. 7 times 6 is 42. Question 4. 36 to 27, something to 3 over here. So 27 and the 3 belong together. What do I do to 27 to get to 3? Well, it's getting smaller. I need to divide, and I would have to divide by 9. 27 divided by 9 gives 3. So I do the same thing to the 36. 36 divided by 9 would be 4. Question 5, 35 to 120. Okay, and over here I have a 24. So 120 and 24 go together. Now that is not a normal timetable, so you probably don't know that one off the top of your head. What you can do if you don't know it, it's getting smaller, so you know you're going to have to divide. If I take 120 and I divide it by 24, it tells me the number that I'm looking for, 5. Okay, so if I take 120 and I divide that by 5, I get 24. So that has been divided by 5. So it's a little trick that might help you. So I have to do the same thing here for the 35. 35 divided by 5 is 7. Sorry, that's not a bit squashy in there. Okay, question 6, we can also write our ratios as fractions. So these are the same, they just look a bit different because they're fractions. Now we have both of the bottom numbers here. So those two numbers go together. Now I'm trying to find the x. So what do I do to the 9 to get to 45? I would have to multiply by 5. So that means if I multiply that by 5, I will find my missing x value. 7 times 5 is 35. So x is equal to 35. Let's do it again in question 7. This time I have the two top numbers here. So 40, I have to do something to the 40 to find 5. Well, I would have to divide that by 8. It's getting smaller. 40 divided by 8 gives 5. So let's divide the 64 by 8. 64 divided by 8 will give me 8. A is equal to 8. Okay, now there's one more question here on this page, number 8. This is just a bunch of different equivalent ratios here. We have our first ratio, 2 to 3, and we have some ratios underneath with a missing number from each one. So we just have to apply what we've been doing 3 times to find the 3 missing numbers. So to get from 3 to 6, we multiply by 2. So I would have to multiply 2 by 2 to find that that number is 4. Now, this one is my reference point, okay? So it's best to work from this one. So let's have a look at our next ratio here. Getting from the 2 to 6, you would multiply by 3. So let's multiply this side by 3. 3 times 3 is 9. And one more, we have the 24. So from 3, to get from 3 to 24, you would multiply by 8. Multiply 2 by 8, 2 8s are 16. Okay, so that's all I'm going to teach you for today. Time to turn over the page and have some practice of your own. So here they are, 7 questions. Pause the video, try these questions and restart to see the answers. Number 1, the 6 and the 18 are in the same position. To get from 6 to 18, you would need to multiply by 3. So multiplying 11 by 3, you get 33. 24 to 9. All right, the 9 is in the same position as the 3. This time you would need to divide by 3 to get to 3. So 24 divided by 3 is 8. Question 3, 36 and 9 are both first, they go together. Again, it's getting smaller, so 36 I would have to divide by 4 to get to 9. So 100 divided by 4 goes 25 times. Okay, this one's written a little bit differently. We're kind of going to the left this time. The 1 and the 20 are in the same position. And to get from the 1 to the 20, I've had to multiply by 20. So I need to multiply the 6 by 20 to get my missing number. 6 times 20 is 120. Okay, number 5, same thing but written as a fraction. 49 and 7 go together. 49, I would need to divide that by 7 to get 7. And so I need to do the same thing here with the 70. 70 divided by 7 will give me A. And 70 divided by 7 is 10. So A is equal to 10. Again for question 6, 15 and 45, what can we do there? This time we need to multiply. Multiply by 3, 15 times 3 gives 45. So I need to do the same on the top, multiply by 3. 12 times 3 is 36. So B is equal to 36. Question 7, this is my starting ratio. I need to find these 3 missing numbers here. In this first ratio, I've multiplied by 2 to get from 8 to 16. So multiplying 5 by 2, we get 10. In the second one here, 5 and the 20 go together. I'm multiplying by 4. 5 4s are 20. So 8 times 4 is 32. And finally, 8 and 48. 6 8s are 48. So I need to multiply by 6. 6 times 5 is 30. There it is. Hopefully you got all those answers. That's it for today. Keep practicing. I'll catch you later. Bye.